Hello, hello. If anyone's coming in to join me, just bear with me a minute while I fiddle. Should have fiddled before I press the live button. Sorry about that. Pop in a comment so I know that you're here. Let me just share this and we will get on our way. So we're going to be playing with some of the new July release items that I released this weekend again. Yeah, that's what I want. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and do something at the same time, which is not my best. It's not what I'm good at lately. God, words is going to escape me today as well. Hang on. Bear with me. I'm just sharing this into the Hillbilly group. So if anyone is coming on to watch me, pop in a comment and say hello. If you're catching it on replay, oh, see, can't talk. I was out late last night, which I'll explain in a minute, or fairly late, and yeah, I'm a bit tired. Just typing this out. So welcome as you're coming in. We'll get started in just a minute. There we go. That's all done. And I know 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon's a hard time, but it's sort of what suited me today. As I said, I'm a bit tired, but we will get there. So if you are popping in, pop in a comment. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a cord out of the way that is bugging me. Looks like there's an octopus on my desk at the moment. There are cords everywhere, which is ridiculous. I have to rejig my system, just trying to see comments. So how's everyone's Sunday been going? Let me get rid of this on my screen and we'll get started. Okay, so we'll do our welcome again. Welcome. It's Melinda from Scrapbooking So this weekend I've released some new July products and they're on sale for 15% off until July 7th. So it's an automatic discount. You don't have to do anything. And this is the website here. We also have social medias. So we have YouTube, Facebook and Instagram all under that same Scrapbooking name. I managed to secure all the social media under the same name, which was wonderful. So pop on there and have a look at our new releases. And there's a huge amount of older stuff there too. Or not older stuff, like releases that were done earlier in the year and last year. So we stock chipboard stencils, cardstock embellishments, stamps, foam stamps and paper napkins. So let's see what we're going to do today. So pop in a comment and say hello if you're stopping by to have a relaxing Sunday afternoon with me. So I've grabbed a few of our new items. I've grabbed this one to play with. So this is our 3 set of flowers. So the idea is that you cut these connecting pieces out of the frame. It's just easier for me to cut them and package them really in one piece, hence the connecting lines, and they just snip off. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Also didn't use the Find Your Happy Place from yesterday, so I might be using that. Grabbed a couple of stencils. Mainly this one is, I think, Find Your Path or Path Stones or something on the website. I can't remember what I named them after I put them up because I just have so many products I just make up names as I go along. They're all got code numbers, so it doesn't really matter what the names. So I thought this would go with the flowers, and that one was hanging around on my desk from yesterday. So was this napkin, so I thought we would have a play with that as well. So this is one of my daughter, who is 15, sells napkins on my website, and this is one of the ones she got in this release. So I thought we would use that as well in some way. So we're going to play a bit with acetate today. I've got a bit of a fascination with acetate lately. So I thought we would play with that. My idea, and I will admit it to start with, sometimes when I have an idea or I have a vision in my head of what an art journal page will look like, sometimes it seriously goes wrong, but we'll see. So I've grabbed some acetate sheets. So my idea is to put some coloured acetate behind the flowers, and I'm going to use this art journal page in my altered book with the tree branch and have the flowers hanging off the tree and have some of the napkin down the bottom. That's what's mulling over in my head. Let's see if that actually comes out and works. Yesterday I had no idea what I was doing and I made a very pretty page. Hi Jane, how you going? We will see what comes today. Just move my alcohol inks out of the way for a minute. So I am working in an altered book today. A light in the attic. So I like to work in altered books a lot because I like the size of them. I like the different shapes I can get. And I have a couple of YouTube videos actually on my personal channel of how I've put together. Oh, I just found a photo in that one. Okay. Oh, they can stay in there. I've got a few videos that I can go back and link in the comments of how I prepare the books. So basically, I tear some pages out, I glue some pages together to make room for the book, but it's a bit more technical than that. But all I've done so far is put some white gesso. Oh, hi Angela, how you going? Put some white gesso, seriously. I went out last night. We had a special light display in one of our local parks with lasers and all sorts of fun light stuff. So Alexis and I were out to 8:30, 9 o'clock last night, and I'm really tired and a bit exhausted. So what I've done is I've prepared my page with some clear gesso because I want to sort of use this tree branch in my design. Whether it will be there at the end is a different story. So if you haven't heard of clear gesso before, it's basically a sealer or a protector for your page. This one's a little gritty, so I can feel that I've got it on my page, which is fine. Some clear gessos are not as gritty as others. So I've just painted it on, and the advantage of clear gesso is you can seal any page that's got pattern or stuff on it, and then the stuff will be there when your gesso dries. If you put white gesso on, obviously you're going to take away the wording and stuff, which we're going to get rid of now. Actually, what are we going to do first? Let's do the alcohol ink bit first. Haven't thought this through, have I? Let's do the alcohol ink on the acetate, and then that will dry by the time we're fiddling with. So this acetate I just got from Melinda and Alexis. They had it on special a few weeks back, and I grabbed some. So hopefully it is good acetate. Usually I grab it from packaging and stuff and just recycle it, but I've run out lately. I haven't bought anything that's had acetate on it. So this is a 6x6 size sheet, so I think I've got to do 2 sheets. Because I don't think they're circles. No, only 2 circles are going to fit on 1 sheet. Okay. I'm going to do it on top. That's fairly plain. Just don't want to get drips of alcohol ink on my book. Might be a bit hard to see for starters. But we're just going to drip some alcohol ink. So alcohol inks you really need to use on a non-porous surface, or a surface that's not paper, that doesn't seep it, doesn't allow the alcohol ink to seep in. So I've just got some different colours here. I've got magenta, I've got rose, can't read what the colour is, that one's a light pink, and I've got citrus, and I've also got a blending solution. So I'm basically wanting to put some drips and pattern on my acetate, sort of like this. So I don't want to keep it quite light, I think, like as in not so much of the pink darker colours, but we'll see how we go. So if you haven't played with alcohol inks before, they're so much fun to play with. So you can use your alcohol inks on acetate or Yupo paper, which is a plastic paper, anything that's non-porous. Okay, let's start with the lightest colour first. So we're just going to put some drops on it. I'm going to cover the entire 2 sheets, and then I'll have some spare. And I just went and purchased one of these things as well. Let's open it up, maybe. Basically this makes the alcohol ink move around. I know it's hard to see on the white sheet of paper. We'll put some darker colours down in a minute. Put some yellow in. It does smell a bit, so you should do this in a ventilated room, which I'm not. So if I go a bit silly, you know it's the alcohol ink. More silly than normal. So if I can pick it up, I'm sort of just doing blobs, and this just pushes air out of the little spouty thing, so it just moves them around. Might put a little bit of blending solution. Blending solution just makes the alcohol run a bit more. Oops, I just put too much on that one. And it sort of makes really hard to see. That's not even any better. when you put the blending solution on, it repels the alcohol, so you get these nice circly things. Let's put a little bit more colour on, and then we'll call this one done. And we'll do the other one. So it's a bit hard to see, I do apologise. So just wanting to add a bit of colour, so when I stick my black silhouette shapes over the top, I've got some colour. We're going to put these aside somewhere to dry. You do want to let your alcohol inks naturally dry. You don't want to get your heat tool out because you might burn your plastic. I can pick it up and make it drip. Bit of what? Oh, it's a bit better. That's about what I want. I want it to be quite subtle. So I want to do one sort of the same as that. Let's put this one over to dry. It's a bit better on the white bit of paper. I should have my window open, shouldn't I? But it's too cold for that. So I hope everyone's had a fantastic weekend. Can't believe it's Sunday night already. I've got that much work to do, it's not funny. Tonight I've got lots of orders to get done. I have to go to the post office tomorrow, and I may as well have all the orders ready than have to go back on Tuesday. So just putting drops down. I don't want too much of the stronger colours because I want it to be quite subtle. Put a bit of blending solution on and make it do some fun stuff. Oops. These ones sort of come out a bit fast in these bigger square bottles. I think these ones come from Art and Craft as well. They tend to send me emails and say, this is on sale, and it's like, yeah, I can try that. This one is a Ranger one. So I don't mind mixing up different brands of alcohol inks or different products. They all work the same. Doesn't matter if you mix up different brands. I tend to buy by the colour of what I like. How's that looking? We'll be daring and put a couple of drops of the darker pink one on. Hopefully won't put too much on. Until I haven't used these for a while, my lids are getting a bit stuck. Move this round a bit so it's not big blobs. There's probably a bit too much of that colour. Let's water it down with a bit of blending solution. That's right. I only need 3 big circles, so I can pick the bit I like, which will probably be up here, the 3rd circle. Okay. Ooh, I like how that's repelling. That's really cool. Okay, now I've got that all over my fingers. Let's move that away. That looks really cool. So hopefully by the time we've finished playing in our art journal and preparing this part of it, that will be all dry. Hopefully I don't have to get my heat tool out. Be very careful. You can heat tool, dry it with a heat tool, but you've got to be careful you don't melt your plastic. Okay, now I want to just put a bit of, I want to get rid of these words, so I'm just going to put a bit of white gesso over those. In my lovely Vegemite jar. So I want to see the words a little bit. I just want to knock them back a bit because they're a bit harsh. And this is a not a very opaque gesso anyway, this particular brand. What I might do is just, I didn't realise the book was cream and now I'm putting white gesso on it. I just want to get rid of this blobby thing on the tree, but I want to keep the tree branch. I think I'm going to stick one of the flowers over this bit. Oh no, I think he's a creature on the branch. Sometimes in my altered books I like to use what's on the page and sort of incorporate it. Sometimes I just cover it with white gesso and totally cover the page and not use anything that's on it. Just depends on what's on the page and what mood I'm in and what I want to do. Get rid of that a bit more. Keep the tree. Try to keep the tree. So has everyone had a crafty weekend? hang on a second, Lisa. I will just, hang on, I've got to look at comments. Let me flip back up to the comments. Okay, what I'm working on. So I'm just doing a bit more of a quick page today. So we're going to use these black silhouette shapes. So these just all snip out of the frame. I'm going to use this napkin on the bottom. So the idea is to have these three, or one sort of here and a couple hanging from the tree branch. And then I've just made some acetate. Can I grab these without? Oh, this one's really dry. Made some acetate with alcohol on top, so I can put it behind the black silhouette shapes. Well, that's my idea anyway. So then you'll have some colour behind them when they're hanging on the page. That's the idea. Oh, you've done heaps of work, Lisa. I've done a little bit. I'm about to do heaps of work tonight. I've got to pick and pack orders. That'll be fun after dinner. And probably cut some stuff as well. Okay, what am I doing? I'm drying that off. Oh, thanks, Lisa. Sounds great. Sounds great in my head. Whether it translates, that's the word I'm looking for, onto the page is another question. Now, I want to use this napkin. Let me just cut it in half. Where's my scissors go? I haven't cleaned up from yesterday, so I've got stuff everywhere. I so got to clean up my space, my art space. It's a disaster. Okay. Half that there. So when you unfold this napkin, it has, and it perfectly just fits across my book. That was good, wasn't it? So this pattern extends across half of the napkin, which is really cool. Some of the napkins just have the image on one of the quarters. Sometimes it's an overall pattern. Sometimes you get that opposite pattern, which is really cool too, or the image opposite. Okay. Now, how far do I want this up? Do I want to... decisions. I want to use the whole napkin, or do I want to use 3/4 of the napkin? I think I want to use about 3/4 of it. So let's see if I can get the backing off this one without tearing it. Would be good. Oh, I can see it. Got to get those fingernails in there. There we go. Sometimes they're a bit stubborn to get off. Sometimes they come apart really easily. It just depends. And now I think I'm going to put a bit of colour underneath the napkin to start with, which will be easier. So I think I want to go sort of a bit of green down the bottom, and then I want to put a bit of blue in the background. So let's grab these watercolours I had yesterday, because they're still hanging around on my desk. Maybe. Oh, no, throw them over there. Hi Elizabeth, how you going? Sorry, just flicking through comments. It only allows me to see about 3 comments on the screen at once, so I've got to sometimes flick up to see your comments if it runs too quickly. I love napkins too. I have a bit of a napkin addiction. Alexis and I are hilarious when we go out, because we look at something and we go, do we have this napkin? Alexis usually go, Mum, do we have this napkin? And I have to sort of think, and I sort of forget sometimes. I go, oh no, it's pretty, we'll get it again. We end up with 2 packs of the same thing. But yeah, they're so versatile and they're so different, and they're just affordable as well. Okay, now, there's my spray bottle that I had yesterday. Seriously, I had a spray bottle of water yesterday, and I haven't moved anything from my desk. It's not the one I had, but this one will work. Oh, no, there it is. It was lying down. It had fallen down. Okay, just want to give it a bit of a squirt on the gesso. By sealing the page with either the white or the clear gesso, or I've done both, which was a bit silly. I wasn't really thinking. It allows me to water paint over the top, and also allows me to put a bit of water on my page so my watercolours run a bit better and don't soak into the page instantly. But you'll certainly know if you've missed a bit of gesso, because it grabs in the page. Because this is going under the napkin, I just sort of want a bit of colour. I don't mind if it's a bit darker here and there. Just thinking how far to take it up, because I want to sort of do blue. I'm doing a lot of scene pages at the moment. Sort of like it's got a foreground and then it's got a background, and which is sort of fun. Let's put a bit of darker. We've got, no, that was our lighter screen. Let's go a little bit darker. So these are just some cheapo watercolours I got from Aldi a few years ago when they had them. As I said yesterday, I'm not a watercolour artist, so I don't pay expensive for watercolours. I want to try the new Art by Marlene ones, but this is not the only set of watercolours I have. So I can't really justify buying another one. I probably will anyway, because I'm absolutely hopeless. But yeah, I want to try them out because the colours look really cool. I think that's it for that. We'll give that a bit of a dry. Mainly just didn't want it the one colour, so don't mind that I've got blotches and blobs of darker and lighter colour. It makes it look a bit more interesting. So I want to sort of put blue up here. I haven't wet that, that's why my paint is not running. Amazing, that little bit of water. Yeah, you can never have enough two supplies, can you, Jane? It's just, I'm trying to be good and go, okay, I'm only going to buy new stuff when I use stuff up. But watercolours, they last forever. They just keep going and going and going. You'll see any bits that I didn't catch with the, I'm going to go over the branch, because I think I'm going to go over that with a paint pen to colour the branches. I think I want it a bit darker down the bottom, maybe, just meet the grass. I don't know, I'm trying to think, is it darker down the bottom and then goes lighter when you look out the window? Just had to make sure that, excuse me, that green was dry so I don't go and make a mud. Yeah, so many fantastic new products coming out at the moment. It's like, oh, I'd like that, and I'd like that. I'm terrible. My excuse is I have to buy it for work, because I have to have something to use my products with. It'd be a bit boring just to use my products on a page. I'd have nothing, no bright and colourful paints and stuff to use with it. Knowing when to stop. I think I'm going to stop. think it's mainly dry over the trees where I want it. Oh no, it's a bit wet still. So I'm going to work over the tree branches. I'm going to grab my paint pens. Let's see if I've got the right colours. So I want a brown. That'd be right. All colours of the rainbow, not a brown. I also want a green. Maybe that green. Get away with that if I don't have a brown. I think I said for a brown or a goldish paint pen. Where's my other? Oh, there go my flowers on the floor. I'll grab them in a minute. Oh, I suppose it'd go gold. I don't have a brown paint pen. That's terrible. Okay, we're going to go gold, and I'll put a bit of black into it to darken it up in spots, I think. We want a fairly thick one, but not a too thick one. We want that one, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. I'm actually going to turn my book upside down so the branches are closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. Let's get the scrap paper out of the way. Oh, what's my computer throwing up? Pop-up windows everywhere. I can't read comments. Hello to everyone that's coming in. Hi, Amy. So I'm just going to use some paint pens. Let's start with, maybe we start with this one. So these are just Kmart paint pens. They're actually quite good for what they are. Let's get those watercolours out of here. It's got to press the nib down to get it started again because I haven't used these in a month. Naughty, naughty. So it takes them just a little second to get going. It's been stubborn. Shouldn't pump it up and down like I am doing. There we go. So I sort of want to leave the black lines if I can. It's not as dark as I originally wanted, but I'm going to put some black. I'll do some black on top of it. Not being real perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect when I do it anyway. Oops. I want some of the black lines to show through as well. Just trying to do the thickest part. Of the branch, and then we might go in with some. I think this paint pen is nearly on its last legs. I just want to smudge some black in to make it a bit darker. Make it look more like bark. Paint pen doesn't like me because I'm going over wet paint, which is, don't do that to your paint pens, but this one's nearly dead anyway. I can tell by shaking it. These paint pens come in the art section next to the stationery section. They'll probably call it the craft section. So there's two sets. There's a set of 8 pastel ones, and then there's a set of 8 bright ones, and then there's black and white ones. And for a set of 8, they're under $10. They might be like $9 or $10. They're really good value compared to your Posca ones where you pay 6 or 7, might even be up to $8 now for the equivalent size. So for the price of the pens, they're really good pens, good paint pens. The black and white ones I use all the time. Oh, that's working a bit better. It's a bit drier. Don't go over wet paint with your paint pens because you'll just wreck them. As I say in my classes in person, do as you're told, don't do as I do. Because I do the most terrible things. And then I want to add some green leaves. It's not standing up. Let's go dark green leaves. Even though they got quite a fat tip, if you don't press really hard, you can get a bit more of a thin line. I use them over magazine when I'm doing magazine collages, and they work really well because a lot of them are quite opaque. Now I'm trying to decipher where the leaves are and where the branch finishes. We'll just make it up in a minute. I think I've got all the green leaves. Doesn't help that I'm doing it upside down, does it? As I said, I had this idea in my head and hopefully it works. Hang on, I'm just going to a bit of dry. Okay, I think we're back. Where are my comments gone? Oh. I think we're back. I'm not going to admit it, but I may have accidentally closed the live. Whoops. Blind people shouldn't be allowed near computers. Oh, God, some days I shouldn't be allowed near anything. Hopefully you can all find us again some days. There we go, all shared again, so you should be able to find us. I do apologise, I may have hit a button I shouldn't have hit because I didn't know what it was. It's all Facebook's fault for changing things. Stop changing where the buttons are and I won't accidentally hit things when I do stuff. So I just ended up drying it while I was fiddling with the computer. I just grabbed some inks because I'm going to do some ink blending on top of my watercolours. I'm just going to clean my blending brush because I don't know what colour I had in it yesterday. Sorry, Amy, I think I may have accidentally hit end video. Something popped up on my screen. I went to close the box and whoops. I shouldn't be letting near computers some days now. Where are those stencils I had? I think Lisa's last comment was she was cleaning her room while listening. That's a good idea. Can someone do a live so I can clean up my room after this? My room is a... Yes, technology can be real temperamental. I had to restart my computer to get my webcam program to open up. It doesn't like when I've been on the computer for hours and then want to use it. It's silly. So I've got this think this is called Path Stencil, Rock Path stencil, which I think I'm going to use in the sky as clouds, I think, or some texture in the sky. And then I'm going to use some of this one, I think, down in the grass. That's the idea. So I've grabbed some archival inks. Why archival? Because they were the colours and they were the easiest ones to find. I could have used distress oxides or inks as well. But these were sort of the colours I wanted to go with. And if I go and add any other wet media over the top, I don't have to worry that these, because these are permanent. So I'm going to add a little bit of texture. I don't want it too dark. Look like stormy rain clouds, won't it? I don't want it too dark, I just sort of want it subtle. It does a bit look like stormy rain clouds. I love the blending brushes with the stencils. You can get really good detail and you can go really soft to really dark just by how much pressure or how many times you go over the one area. These look like in stormy night, isn't it? There we go, a bit of pattern up there, and let's just give this a bit of a wipe on some paper towel. I'm back to crafting in such a small space because I've got that much stuff around me. It does look a bit like stormy clouds. I sort of wanted a bit of texture, but I didn't want sort of too much. I wanted it to be quite subtle. Subtle is usually not my, not what I go for, but trying to be a bit more subtle. So these ones I want to sort of use over the grass. Channeling my art by Marlene today with all the seams I'm doing. Oh, I'm loving the new Art by Marlene stamps. I'm going to get my hand on some of those. Oh, I'm terrible, aren't I? Oh, thanks, Amy. Sometimes I have an idea in my head and I go to translate it to paper and yeah, well, it ends up in a disaster. And sometimes it works. A lot of the time it ends up in disaster. They're the ones you don't see. Hopefully our alcohol inked acetate, oh that's a mouthful, say that 20 times, is dry now and I can start putting this together. I like it even like that, except for that bit that's going to be covered up in a minute. Okay, let's grab these back. Let's grab, is this dry? Yep, is our other one dry? Oh, our other one's a bit, other one's a bit darker. That's okay. Yeah, some days, Amy, I don't know, I just make yucky stuff. And other days I just do really good stuff. I don't know. I think it does happen to everyone. And we, I think we tend to compare each other to each other's work too much too. But my philosophy is if I like the page at the end of the day, no one else has to like it. And I like doing weird stuff. So these just snip apart. And when I do connecting lines like this, I try and do them in easy parts. Well, this is a circle, but in easy parts to snip apart. Easy parts to cut apart, I should say. It's just easier for me to make them in one big sheet. Rubbish bin over there. Yes, art journaling for me is all about sitting and taking time out of my busy day, my stressful day with government departments lately. Look, that's what stresses me out lately. They're just fun to deal with. Not. Okay, now I want to have a bit of, I think, maybe, before I do stuff, of where I want what. I think I like that one up there more. This one I like down here. So I can do 2 out of the orange, and I've got a bit more pink-ish one. Or I've got a bit of orange up there. So I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe the darker one out of that up there. Okay, let's make a decision. Let's stick these on. So when I'm sticking stuff like this black silhouette stuff, I don't have to stick it everywhere. I'm just going to pick the largest pieces of cardstock. And this glue dries clear, so if it seeps under the acetate, that is okay. And where am I going to stick it? Down there. This is fantastic glue, the Couture Creations glue. Where did I put my other... Oh. I was just going to say, where did I put my other black silhouettes? And they're sitting on the page some days. Yes, it's acetate, Amy. I just got this one from Melinda and Craft. They had a sale on a month or so ago. I couldn't find it. Usually I recycle packaging, but I'd sort of run out. It's not Christmas time when we get all the bonbons or the Christmas crackers that have the big acetate fronts on them. I got the... So this is just the one I've got from Art and Craft. I think Jenny sells it as well, but I keep forgetting to order it from Jen when I'm putting an order in from Hillbilly Scrapping. I must remember it next time, because I know we've used it in classes before, so I know she had some at one stage. Yeah, Amy, I put alcohol inks on the acetate. I did that. You may have come in just after I did that. But yeah, that's just some alcohol inks on the acetate, just to give it a different look. I'm liking acetate at the moment. I like the shininess of it, that it gives the look of the page. And I'm just going to fussy cut these out. And try not to cut any of my black, which is going to be interesting when I'm trying to cut something clear. I'm really loving a few artists that are working with a lot of acetate at the moment within art journaling, and they're doing fantastic stuff with it. I thought, oh, that looks cool. That's the problem. I watch too many other people, other YouTubers, and or see layouts other people have done and go, oh, that's really cool. I need that stamp. I need that acetate. I need that product. Isn't that terrible? And but I suppose we all do it. I'm not going to really fussy cut around those flowers too much. You're not going to see it because I can't be bothered. Okay. You're going to see that through it. Oh, let's cut the other two, and then we'll think about how we're going to cover that up. Might be some more gesso. That I didn't think through too clearly. Thought these flowers were fun when I saw them in the circles. I thought, oh, they'll make great little things. And then what do I do with the things? Okay, so we're going to have that one. Where was that one going? That was going down here, wasn't it? Yeah, I like how the colour's coming through. I've just got this. This I might have to blank out with some more gesso. It's a little buggy thing hanging off the tree that I don't... Oh, I suppose you don't see him that much. We'll stick our third circle down and then see what I do with it. Where is my glue gone? I thought I'll use my smaller art journal today and do a quicker page. Whoops. But sometimes they're more intricate. I can spend hours sitting and fiddling on a page. Whoops. I can always go add more alcohol inks to the acetate if I want to add more pinks to the other two. This alcohol ink's still a bit sticky. That's right, we're going to go with it. Oh, I do like the pink. Maybe I'll put some more pink on them. Yes, I think they need some more pink. So I'm just going to flip them over to the back and throw some more alcohol on them to make them a bit more pink. How long's the drying time? Okay, probably about half an hour, Amy. I did them right at the start of the live, and I think we've been going about 45 minutes all up, so probably about half an hour. You don't really want to take your heat tool to it because you'll melt the acetate, which won't be fun. So yeah, usually about half an hour. It's quite cold here and I don't have the heater on. Oh, go on, the silly looking bottle. Go on the lid. So I don't have my heater on, so it's quite cold in my house at the moment. My heater's directly above for my lounge room. I craft in the corner of my lounge room. And the heater / aircon is directly above my desk, which was the only place we could put it. And I either freeze or I cook in the summer because I can't have the aircon on while I'm filming. It's a bit loud. So I suffer when I do lives for you guys. Does that make you feel good? Now these are probably going to have to dry while I add something else to the page. Yes, I'm going to have to put those up somewhere to dry. Hang on. Yeah, no melting disasters. I wanted to see if I can get some acetate for my laser printer. I've got a laser printer for my business and when I homeschool my daughter. So we print a lot of papers for that sort of stuff. So I want to try to get a laser friendly acetate so I can print my own acetate things. That would be rather fun, I think. I just haven't, I keep thinking about it and just haven't got that far. Okay, while they are drying, what else are we going to do? I think I want to do a bit of inking around the edge just to give it an edge. I'll give me time to think about what else I want to do. Going to trim a little off the page. I've noticed when I've stuck some pages together I didn't get them even. Oops. It's a bit better. Sometimes when I stick my altered book pages together I don't get them stuck even. Makes sense. This is awkward. I'll do it this way. Do it left-handed. going to do a bit of green around the bottom just to give the page a bit of border. I like some sort of border on my page. It's probably not the best thing to do to your ink pad, but oh well. I do it all the time. There we go. That just gives it a bit of an edge, and let's grab the dark green and do the same. White. Bless you, Alexis. Anyone hear that sneeze? That's Miss Alexis in the background. And if you hear clink, clunk, clunk, she's playing with or sorting Lego in the background. Yes, any border on the page always brings it together. Okay, now what? So it's going to go, actually that one's now upside down, that one's going to go sort of there. I'm sort of envisioning them like lampy things hanging off the branch. I don't know. What more do we need? Maybe we need something down. I'm hopefully not going to melt these, but we're going to give them a quick buzz with it dryer because I'm being impatient. My heat tool is a lower temperature heat tool as well. It's a Tim Holtz one. So it's not as hot as the long skinny ones. They're a lot hotter. Which way is that going? That one was going down there. No, I think that one was going up there. Yeah, that's just about dry. I didn't put much on the second time around, so it's not as, wasn't as thick. Okay. I need to work on the brown some more. I want some darker browns. What have I got darker brown? Maybe I've got some pencils. Box of tricks, not those, not those. Oh, that might work. It's got a dark brown in it. That might have a dark brown in it. Jewel tip. Oh, that might work too. Oh no, they're greys. Oh no, it's got a grey brown in it. I've sort of got a box off to the side of me with all my packets of drawing stuff. Drawing stuff. Oh, Amy, so you can't hear Alexis sneezing. That's probably one good thing. We were out last night in the cold, so it was a bit, we're probably, hopefully not getting a cold. I want to darken up this branch a bit. So these are just some dual-sided, they're water-based brush markers. That's like the brown I wanted. I don't want it to be totally brown, the one colour. I want some... Oh yes, we always have too much stuff. And I'm a bit of a sucker when new stuff comes out, like Kmart bought out those paint pens. It's like, oh, they're cool. I don't really need any more paint pens. But they might be cool to try. And if I don't get them, Kmart might discontinue them and then I'll miss out. Oh, I'm dreadful. But I'm trying to be good and have all my stuff in one box or a few boxes of the same stuff. So all my drawing, pens, textures, stuff. So when I want to use something, I can go directly to it and find it. Which, in the past, all my stuff has just been here, there and everywhere. So just wanting to go in and darken this up, but not completely obliterate colours. That's looking a lot better. Actually, I think that one's going to cover. I think we need some stuff down here in the grass. Maybe some stuff. What stuff? Maybe. I'm thinking some Art by Marlene die cuts because they sort of go with everything. I can't stop, can I? I just want to add a few. Bit more colour variation down the bottom. Because my page has been gessoed, these textures smudge a bit. So I'm drawing a bit and then smudging. Just to give them more tone. Then I end up with a green finger. Now, where was that word I had before? I don't know whether that's going to fit. I'll see if it fits. Yes, I like that I've darkened up the tree. It really... my idea was to cut this piece in half and maybe have it in two pieces. I can always stick it down and stick it back together. Find your... That's where I'm cutting. Find your... happy place. I don't like to stick a lot in the gutter of my books, in the where the crease of the book is, because it tends to get a bit thick. Oh, excuse me. But we might be doing it this time. Thinking what else it needs. It's getting there. I might grab my Art by Marlene book and just see if there's some little critters or things that will fit and in the right colour down. Just needs something. Let me grab that. Oops, I have a problem. Let's start with the big one. The big one's got a bit of everything in it. So I'm sort of looking for, I don't know what I'm looking for. Let's move that up there. I think it just needs something. Be nice if something had the pink, so the pink is somewhere else apart from just the baubley doodlies things. Let's just pull a few things out and see if they work. Don't want people. Not people. Not fish, because that would look a bit weird. This is when the indecisiveness comes in. I'll go through the whole book and then go, nothing works, nothing fits. Maybe a little house there, and then you need something next to the house. Like a little critter or another little house or something. I wonder if that's going to look funny up there. There's inside, it's a hat, I thought it was a little snail. I thought, oh, it'd be a nice, cute size, but it's the wrong sort of, or maybe a bird. What colour? Orange, pinky orange. I can always alter its colour. That might work. Neutral. Maybe that one. I tend to pull a whole bunch out and then have a play and see what fits. Hang on, I'm just scrolling back through comments because my computer screen. A mushroom. Did we see a mushroom, Amy? Oh, there's a dog that's a bit big. There's a fish. No. I wonder if the garden book has mushrooms in it. Do I have the garden one? That's not the garden one. Ah, this one might have some mushrooms in it. I'm just spelling it. People, birds. Oh, maybe a bird in the tree. If I've got the right size. People. I thought this was a garden one. And snail. I'll put snail on the page. I never know when to stop either. I'm terrible. Mushroom. I don't know without by my lens done mushrooms. Oh, I do have a mushroom stamp, but I can't be bothered. Getting the stamp out, I'm terrible. Okay, let's see what we've got. Oh, you didn't see a mushroom. She does have... Hang on. Sorry, trying to stay in frame. She does have a mushroom stamp, but... Oh, I do have some stamped images that I've already cut out for another project. I don't think I like that. Let's get rid of that one. Maybe the... I like to group the Art by Marlene die cuts together as well. Sort of have them in little clusters. Maybe a bird up in the tree. Maybe it's one. Sort of need something over here maybe. I don't know. And I sort of want to. I was going to draw strings for my circles, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just. This one's sort of grounded to the ground. This one's sort of grounded to the tree, and that one's hanging off the tree, so they're not sort of floating. About. Oh no, that's wrong size. I'm the worst procrastinator. I will stand here for ages and move things around. Hi Tracy, how you going? Hi to anyone that's just come in. The comments are not scrolling, so I have to go back on the computer and scroll. I think I might call it finished and stick things down and stop procrastinating. I think it needs something up here, but I also like the space. And I think this is sort of clustering together nicely, even though they're not sort of touching each other. I think I'm going to call it done and stick it down. Stick and plonk, hey? I'm trying to procrastinate less and stick more when I put in its first spot. I will sit there and move things around 50 times. Then come back to the original spot it was in. Oh, dreadful. So I'm trying to be less procrastinating lately and just, if I like it there, it gets stuck there. So just using the Couture Creations glue to stick these bits on. I love Art by Marlene die cuts because they just suit just about any page. If I'm umming and ahhing of what I want to stick on, I'm sure I'll find an Art by Marlene die cut that'll suit in the right colours, because usually her rainbow colours go with any colour that you've got. And they're quick and easy. You punch them out and stick them on. Happy place. Might leave that till last. So this glue dries clear, but I'm sort of only putting glue under where the black silhouette is to glue it on, but it will dry clear as well, so you won't really see it under the acetate. So nearly done, just gluing my bits down. I will take some close-up photos of this and pop it up on the Facebook page. I sort of want this one just touching so it looks like it's hanging off the tree. Oh, is there a sun for the top right corner? Oh, there probably is a sun. I'll have to go back and have a look. Yeah, it sort of needs it. To me, it looks a bit empty up there, but I get to that stage and go, it looks a bit empty, but what? Yeah, I think she has suns. Whether I've used them, let me stick the happy down. I'll go have a look. I just want to fold this page as I glue it. So as I said, I don't like sticking things in the gutter of my books or the spine of my books, but we did today. It's first page in this journal, so it's not so bulky yet. Okay, a sun. Would a sun be in this one? Or I think there's suns in the big one. The big book. I may admit I've got all of her die cut books, except the new one that's come out. I have to waiting for Jenny to restock. Then I can place an order for some of the new stuff. That's a moon and a sun. Could always put a fish in the sky. Really? I know I've used suns before, because she does a lot of suns and rainbows and clouds. Ah, here we go. Do we want a sun with a face or a sun without a face? I like the one with the face. Gives the page a whimsy look. Hot air balloon could have been cool too. No, I think I like the sun. Let's go with the sun and call it quits. I could flip through here all night. Let's put a moon. Oh, I must use these pages at the back too. They're nice pattern papers. No, we're going to go with that one. Going to go with the first one we see. Sit it down. Book's going to fall in a minute. Oh, what about the orange? Can I turn it into a sun? Yeah, I probably could, Amy. But I'm being rather lazy this afternoon. I was thinking doing a flower. Sorry, it has to go up a bit in my book. Do you like the one with the face, or do you think it looks silly? I will not ask Alexa's opinion because she gives a really honest, frank opinion, and sometimes I don't like her opinions. Let's stick it down. Oh, she's groaning at me in the background. It's nearly dinner time. What time is it? Oh, wow, it's 5:20. How did that happen? I get on these lives and then an hour and a half zips by. There we go. Done. I like it. It's very cute. And Art by Melinda stuff just goes with just about everything. And I'll put these back. I've got a Ziploc bag of the ones I pulled out that I don't use. Go for another day. And I'll just flip back up to the screen and bring it up a bit closer so you can see. So you can see the texture from the stencil in the sky and the grass. Something very different. I'm doing very different stuff lately to what I usually do, but I'm having fun. Thank you very much for coming along and watching my live on this late Sunday afternoon. I was just wondering what day it was. Oh my God, some days. Thank you very much for coming along, and don't forget to go check out all the new stuff on our website. And I'm endeavouring to do a few more lives this year. It's just life is just ridiculous lately and just keeping me way too busy. And just things change so often. I plan out my week and go, right, I'll do a live on such and such a day, and then appointments change and things change, and it's just the whole week is just interrupted, I'll put it that way. But I'm going to try and do some more regular lives, or film some videos to put up for you, that too. So thank you very much for coming along for my new release July weekend. Oh, I've got nice pink all over my sign. And I will catch you all soon. Bye for now.